Evening, folks. This is James T. coming from a top secret location in Texas. I want to tell you a little bit about one of my favorite guns. This is the Taurus PT92, and if you look on the other side, you'll see that it is the AFS version right there. This is one of the newer versions of this gun. They've made it in so many different formats, and they really are very close to the design of a Beretta. They're made on the same machinery that Berettas were made on in the 80s down in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I'm not sure how Taurus got about getting their factory, but they make them on the same machines, and it's effectively the same deal. Now, of course, every time I make one of these videos, I spot check them first, so nothing in there. Nothing in there. See, the magazine's open, so. Okay, so, with that being said, these guns are amazingly similar to Berettas. They're 9x19, of course, so they use the very popular 9mm Luger or 9mm Parabellum round. This is the newest version of these guns. They're, like I said, very, very similar to Berettas. They actually have a very similar sighting system. They go with the partial slide. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but Berettas do this as well, where the slide itself doesn't wrap all the way around the barrel. It's just a little bit of an exposed barrel. And that barrel doesn't really move in there like it would with a normal, well, I guess a typical other pistol. It kind of stays just straight up the whole time. It doesn't do that whole bendy down thing that they do. But like I said, very, very similar to a Beretta. This pistol actually has an accessory rail. You can see right here, right there. The accessory rail is really neat. Most Berettas don't have them. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen a Beretta with an accessory rail, but that's not to say they don't have them. Mag release is pretty standard. It's ambidextrous, so it's on both sides like most guns. Comes out nice and smooth. This one's got a 17 round mag that it comes with, and then the nice thing, these guns actually come with 18. You can get 18 round mags for these guns, which is really neat. But these mags are not interchangeable with Beretta mags, but if you take a Beretta mag, you can cut a little hole in it and you can use them in these guns. It makes it a lot less expensive because these magazines are more expensive than Beretta magazines. So yeah, like I said, so those are very subtle differences between this and an actual Beretta itself. I think the fit and the finish on this particular Taurus is much, much nicer than the finish on a Beretta. I mean, most Beretta finish, it's just like cobalt black or blue, if you will, and it's not. I mean, they're good looking guns, but they don't have this fancy funness going on. And these guns, of course, as many of the PT92s have, it's got the functioning, I don't know, the different functions of the, I don't know what to call it, the function buttons or levers or whatever you want to call them. They're all highlighted in another color. So, and it is a kind of a shiny mirrored finish, which makes it kind of neat. This gun right here specifically takes down very easy. It's not difficult at all. Sometimes I just pointed that at myself. Good thing I spot checked it, right? This gun specifically, if you want to take it down, you have to put the safety on first. There's your safety right there. Oh, and that's the other difference between this and a Beretta, is that Berettas have a slide-mounted safety to where it's up here, and you'd have to move it in this kind of fashion to take the safety off. A lot of people don't like that because when they rack the slide, they grab the safety and they can put the gun back on safe mode or fire mode if they didn't want to. They can switch it up, and it's kind of dangerous, kind of not all that reliable there. But it's reliable, but you can misfire because of it. Now, like I said, you put the safety on to see this. It's ambidextrous, so you can do it from either side. But you put the safety on to take it apart, and taking it apart is very simple. There's a button right here. See that? You push that down, and then on the other side, right here, there's a little switch. And you just push it down. It's kind of difficult, and then it just kind of shoots forward on you, and you just take it apart like that. Normal steel frame. Normal type trigger. You guys probably can't see that in this video, but very simple, very plain, very basic. Steel frame. Gotta love steel. Comes apart very simple. The difference between the design between most of these guns is you'll see it's got a big long spring, and the barrel itself, it doesn't really pivot. Like most of the time when a gun operates, the barrel comes down and then back up and then down and back up. This barrel slides smooth through the gun in such a way so that as the gun operates, it just it just slides around on it, which is actually really convenient. Ah, there you go. See how that just goes smooth? Different, very different from your average pistol, but not very different from a Beretta. Beretta's the same thing. So to get this back together, very simple. You just put it back together. Really easy. You go spring first. Oh, come on forward, slide. Spring first. Get back in there. Good thing we spot check these things for safety, right? Because I'd shoot myself 15 times already. Very easy. Slide it back on. I'll show you anyway, right? And I like to lock it back in place before I hit the switch. And then there you go. You're done. Now the hammer's pulled back once you get that in there. The best way to get the hammer forward, this gun actually has a decocker. So, boop. Hammer's back forward. Gun safe. There you go. Now this is a single action and double action gun. If you don't know what that means, double action means that if you don't cock the gun or anything like that and you pull the trigger, that trigger is going to operate itself. So as you pull the trigger, that hammer operates itself. And that's kind of the easiest way to describe it. Whereas with a single action pistol, that won't happen. You actually have to cock it first, and that sets the hammer. And then it makes it a lot easier to shoot because you're not operating all those items. But then you pull the trigger and bang, nice and easy, right? Okay. So the reason I'm doing a review on this gun is because I'm probably trading it. I don't particularly love this gun. I've had a lot of different PT92s, and the newest version seems to be the heaviest. It seems to be the most over-encumbering. It seems to be a little larger even. Maybe the grips are a little thicker, I don't know. But I really was a big fan of the PT92, the original one, the one that was based off of the Beretta. I've had 4 or 5 of them. They've all come and gone from my collection. But it's a great gun. The sights are very similar to that of a Beretta. It's not pointed right at my face, but you'll see it's very similar. The mag release is ambidextrous, as with most pistols. Your safety is ambidextrous as well. No sweat. Decocker as well. Let's see, is there anything I'm missing here? A lot of people kind of give these guns a bad rap. I don't know why. I mean, they're made on basically the same machines that the Beretta guns are made on, and I personally think that having the slide free of a safety makes it much easier to operate and to use. And of course, it's much more traditional here. If you were to draw with this weapon, if you were shooting from a single action perspective, or a double action perspective, excuse me, and you had the safety on, if you draw, you can simply draw using your thumb and then bring the safety down, and then you can fire. Same thing, single or double action, either way. But that makes it a lot easier versus your typical Beretta safety where you actually have to reach over the top of the gun. I mean, you can do it with your finger, but a lot of people get caught into this kind of motion here. And that's it. That's the gun. It's a very attractive gun, and I think Taurus does a good job of making their guns handsome, if you will. But that's not always the most important thing. Now, if you ask me if I would carry this gun to protect myself with, the answer is definitely. There's not many misfires or anything like that happen with this gun. The operating system inside of a Beretta pistol and these Taurus pistols is pretty unique, but at the same time it's pretty reliable. The military actually uses what's called the M9, or it's basically a Beretta. Shoots 9mm. They use that for a very long time. They may even still use it. I think they might have upped the caliber they generally use now, though. A lot of police officers use it. I mean, well, the Beretta anyway. But also, this gun has made many appearances on the TV show Justified. If you watch Justified, Boyd Crowder sometimes uses a PT92, and you can tell it's not a Beretta because the safety is on the frame, not on the slide. So that's about it for the PT92. Like I said, the only reason I did this review is because I'm getting rid of it. We'll be getting something else soon to play with and review and take a look at. So there it is right there. If you're interested in getting one, these right now, and you guys are probably going to laugh at me, they retail for about $530. I know these guns, you could probably get them for $200 at one point in time, at a gun store or whatever the case is. But nowadays, they have a much nicer finish, they have a much nicer fit, and they're worth every bit of $500 in my opinion. I mean, you can get Rugers and Smith & Wessons and different types of guns, and I really feel like these outclass a lot of them. These particular models. I'm not a big fan of the Taurus Millennium or the other series, the 709s or the 909s, the 609s or anything like that. I'm not really a big fan of those, but this is definitely an excellent gun to have, and like I said, it's made on the same machinery in the same factory that the old Berettas are made in. So, oh, one more thing, it does have a key lock safety. There's a key it comes with. Boop. I don't even know where it goes. I've never used it. I don't do. Oh, here, it's right on the back of the grip here. Boop, turn it in there. Safety. So it's a good way to lock it from the kids. If you got kids, of course I don't. I'm not one for children, but if you got kids, you can use it for that purpose. Oh, one more thing. The magazine release, okay? That button right there. On these guns, it's actually notorious for not having been assembled properly at the Taurus factory. If you ever have a problem getting magazines out of this gun, it's probably because the magazine release is engaged at the moment or stuck where it's at. And all you have to do is poke it out like a good ways, and turn it. And just turn it, and it'll go together, and then that way there, the pistol itself will, you basically just tighten it up and make it closer, and you won't have that issue again. This was that way when I got it. But that's it for the Taurus PT92. I'd like to thank you for taking your time and watching this short little video that we made about it. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to email me or to comment here on the page, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. This is James T with another happy shiny gun review. Thank you.